The NBA playoffs start the second week of April, with the NHL playoffs scheduled to begin immediately after. Whether you're looking to raise the Stanley Cup or lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy, we've got the deal for you. Postseason subscriptions are already a great deal at $219, but with this early bird special, we're slashing it even more to just $177 each, and you get the rest of the regular season for free. Between now and Sunday, April 9th, partner with your favorite NBA or NHL handicapper and get their NHL or NBA best bets all the way through the finals. No coupon is needed. Head to the homepage of your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo expert and finish the NBA and NHL postseason with a bang.
Hey guys, welcome into another edition of Guess Who's Playing? Yes, in the NBA as we get ready to wind down the final couple of games of the regular season. Playoffs are almost upon us. Still a few spots here up for grabs. A little jockeying for position here as we head into the weekend here, and teams winding down here a little bit, gearing up for those playoffs. So limited card here tonight. We got just 5 games, but we did manage to isolate a few here. We're going to break down for you, see if we can identify any of these people playing in these games. And you've got 3 of the best to do that with here today as we welcome back in Teddy Covers in the house, ready to roll here, as is Brian Leonard. And Teddy and our good friend, Mr. Ronald Cabang. You can catch them both over at sportsmemo.com. The U-Capper in the house, ready to roll. And gentlemen, happy Thursday here as we get ready to wind down this fantastic regular season. I'm wondering, of the 5 games here, a few games in the Major League Baseball, a few games here, Teddy, in the NBA. Anything catch your eye that is available at your page?
The final weekend of the NBA regular season, at least to me, is a lot like week 18 in the NFL. You're real happy if you find 1 good wager, 2 good wagers. I found 1 earlier today. Of course, the line has moved already, but I still found the wager, and I wouldn't argue with anyone that still wants to get on it. You can get that single best bet available over at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com. 80% NBA in April and 60% NBA over the last 14 months.
Now is the time, guys, as we get ready, of course, for the NBA playoff. That'll be upon us soon. Oh, yeah, Brian, NHL playoffs just around the corner as well, my friend. How about you tonight? What might be on the card over at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, I had 1 baseball play just started, so I've got 3 NHL plays tonight, including a 4% play. Nice total in the NHL. So, like Teddy, the NBA at this part of the season is not bettable anytime. NBA, so it's tough with all the guys sitting out, and as you mentioned before we come on here about Cleveland. Yeah, not my favorite time of the year to be betting on the NBA.
See this under straight. You picked the game that wasn't canceled in Major League Baseball. That's impressive, Brian. That is impressive right there. My man. What is going on, Mr. Cabang? What is happening, man, over at sportsmemo.com? I know if anybody found something, you found a nugget here. What do you got rolling, my man?
Yeah, I actually had an MLB player earlier, one of the early games. He hit the Red Sox there, so that was a good one. That was the only baseball play today, but I got a couple NBA plays, and I'm gonna give out one of them during the best bet section today. 8-1 the last 9 bets overall between baseball and NBA, going pretty well right now.
Yeah, no kidding. We got it's a good time of year. Masters is on. We got some UFC coming up this weekend. A lot of stuff here, guys, but we got to get through this regular season first. And Well, we know the contrarian gods are ready to roll here tonight because they have their eye on a game, and I'd like to say I disagree, but I get it, as they're going to be looking at the Denver Nuggets getting 10.5 here tonight, visiting the Phoenix Suns. And this was originally 7.5. Now it's 10.5, mostly because the entire damn team is questionable again. We have no idea who is playing for the Denver Nuggets here. Let's go down the list here. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., KCP, Jokic, Jamal Murray. Yikes. Take your pick. Anyone, if not all, may not be playing. Phoenix Suns, interestingly enough, Teddy, don't have a damn person listed here. So I'm going to assume they're going to get as much practice together in as possible before we hit the postseason. What do you think about the contrarian side here tonight?
Look, I'll be honest. I have no idea what to do with this freaking game. I don't. I don't know if I want the contrarian side. I don't know if I want the favorite. Phoenix is not a team I'm looking to step in front of right now. All right. You asked me who is my favorite to come out of the West, and certainly the Suns are as capable of any team of coming out of the Western Conference. They're playing great basketball right now. You look at Durant's numbers, even going dating back to Brooklyn. All his teams are doing is winning and covering, and they're good. You know, this is not fraudulent what Phoenix is doing. Denver, A, we don't know who's going to play. All right. B, we've got all of these quotes from Mike Malone that were not amused by, what are they, 6-8 in their last 14 ball games. And Malone was not amused after getting bombed by the Rockets. Quote, if that's how we're going to play, we'll be out of there in the first round. We don't do our jobs as accountability. And I speak the truth. I just called our team soft, and I dared someone to challenge me. No one did, because as a group, we were soft tonight. And I'm not saying we're soft, but tonight we were. That's a bet-on freaking quote, So I guess I'm not in a rush to step in front of Phoenix, and I don't know if any of these guys for the Nuggets are actually going to play or not. If they play, Denver might be worthy of a look, and we can side with the contrarian gods. But Phoenix is – I can't do it on the come here. I can't do it. Maybe these guys will play. If we see that Denver's playing their starters and care about the game, then we like the contrarian side. If we don't, and Denver's sitting their starters and don't care about the game, then Malone's comments will wisp off into the wind, and we'll leave the game alone.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, too, on what Phoenix may decide to do last minute, Brian, because I don't trust them either. Next thing you know, everybody could be sitting out for them as well. So I think San Antonio tomorrow might be on tap. So what are you going to do here in this spot tonight? Are you leaning one way or the other?
Yeah, very similar to what Teddy's thoughts are in this game. And the quote, nobody wants to be called soft. And so you would expect a good effort out of Denver tonight. Problem is, who's going to be on the court to do it? Phoenix may be healthy right now, but they've had a lot of good players that have been hurt this year. So it would not surprise me if they start to rest some players here. It could be a game like this one. They know the other team's probably going to rest players. There's not too many positives when you're playing a team that is going to be resting players, because most of the time the team just doesn't have the same get up and go. They just treat it differently. It's not as if they're playing the first string players. So a lot of times you see the other team take it down a notch a little bit. So can't lay the points with Phoenix. Not sure who's going to play for Denver. Leaves me on the sidelines.
Yeah, tough to argue with any of that. Ronald Kabang, you cappers, or any side, any sort of nugget you might be looking at in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to agree with the contrarian gods here. I think at this plus 10.5, like Teddy and Brian mentioned, I think there's going to be a situation where we see some guys be out for the Suns closer to tip-off. I think we're going to see sort of that chess match, right? We see Jokic or someone like Murray officially sit out. The Suns are probably going to sit some guys out because they got the Lakers tomorrow. Obviously, they want to go into the playoffs pretty healthy here, but also don't want to. There's one thing that I could actually see here is the Suns early, but the Nuggets kind of take advantage in the second half when the Suns take a step off the gas pedal there. So maybe a backdoor cover here on the Nuggets side is the way that I would look. If you do like the Nuggets, I would say take it now at plus 10.5 because there's a pretty good chance we see some guys sit or get announced limited as far as minutes goes on the Sun side, and that's gonna move the line a little bit. So, like I said, I'm gonna be with the contrarian gods here on this one.
All right. Well, that's game number one there. The Denver Nuggets getting double digits here, 10.5. But again, guys, that's the late game, 10 o'clock Eastern time tip. So make sure you see who is playing here. If you can hold off on that one tonight, there is one game at least on the card. It's got a little bit of juice here. We'll see what these guys think of it as playoffs abound with both of these teams. The Miami Heat taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Miami pretty much locked into that number 7 seed. They do have a shot at the 6 seed, avoiding the play-in altogether. However, they don't control that. They're going to need Brooklyn to cooperate here in these final couple of games. Philadelphia, they know they're locked in. Number 3 seed, they're ready to roll. And boy, oh boy, 219.5 is the total. This number was 5.5 last night, Teddy. Then 5, then 4, then, well, hell, now we're down to 2. Teddy, what does that tell you about this one?
It tells us that it's muster win for Miami than for Philadelphia. Where the markets are very excited about playoff positioning and betting. And from my experience, 25 years betting the NBA, there's not a team or a player that cares if they finish in the 5 seed or the 6 seed or the 7 seed. And I know that it's something for the talking heads to talk about. And I know that there's a tight race in the Western Conference for who's going to be in the play-in game and who isn't. But frankly, when you talk about seeding and, they want to win to improve their seed, no, they don't. That's been my experience. I'm not a fan of the Miami Heat. I think Miami's one of the more overrated teams. I would not be surprised they get swept out of the playoffs. When we look at who Miami has beaten in recent weeks, let's see. Well, they beat the Pistons and the Mavs. They beat the Knicks on a second of back-to-backs and another win over the Pistons. They beat the Grizzlies when everyone was sitting. They beat Utah. It's few and far between for Miami in recent weeks. The better teams they're facing are beating them up good. Now, I worry about the Philly side here. I don't know how into it Philly is. They played a much bigger game to beat Boston, and I don't know if they're particularly interested here, but Philly's a lot better than Miami. They're more than 2 points better than Miami, and if the two teams both come to play, I think Philly comes out on top, especially without a bye.
It's right, and it's very. Right now, Maxey and PJ Tucker still questionable. DeAnthony Melton, but you don't know if Embiid. How are they looking this game? We know Doc Rivers, Brian, has been saying the only thing that matters to us is be healthy. We want to be healthy in the playoffs. So if that's the case, what in the hell do they have the game by going all out in this game? You got to question if that's the case here. Miami has given them some problems in the past, but what do you think we're going to get in this matchup tonight?
Yeah, they've split the first 2 games this season, the road team winning both of those. I'm not a big believer in Miami either. And now it's to the point, maybe Miami was the right side when it was, 5.5. Now we're down to 2. I'm with Teddy. Philadelphia's the only side I would look for here. Philadelphia's about to play a back-to-back at home against Miami, their last home game of the season. And they play in Atlanta tomorrow. I prefer the Philadelphia side here. To me, they just played Boston. They just played Milwaukee, the 2 best teams in the East, other than Philadelphia, if you're going to count Philadelphia up there. But it's a drop down in talent for the team they're playing right now, and Miami has not played well as of late. They're a team that is only in the playoffs because of some teams at the back of that playoff race are not very good. So we'll take advantage of the cheaper line here with Philadelphia minus the 2. And in their last home game here, I expect a good effort out of Philadelphia. We'll lay it.
All right. It's laying it here with Philly as it's come crashing down, you Capper. Are you in agreement with the market here, or are you looking some other place in this matchup?
I'm gonna be looking at some other place. I'm gonna look towards the total here. This one's tough from a side perspective, just because of what the guys mentioned, right? Like we don't know where the motivation is for both of these teams. Mathematically, Heat are still in contention for that sixth spot if they want to avoid the play-ins. But on the Sixers side, they kind of locked into that third spot. But Embiid kind of he's been sort of pretty verbal about wanting the MVP award. So we don't know if he's gonna sit. If he does, that might hurt his chances because we talk about what the media sees lately, but Embiid, I mean Jokic might sit tonight too as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that sort of storyline. But for the most part, if I see Maxey questionable and possibly out in this game, I want to look towards the under because their offensive efficiency takes a hit and their defensive efficiency becomes better when Maxey is not on the court. And if you look at the Heat post All-Star break as well, they've been offense going under their team total in majority of the games post All-Star break, specifically on the road there, and that's where they are tonight. One of the games that they did go over went into OT, and that's the reason why I think it's like 7-2 to their team total under post All-Star break when on the road. So offensive struggles on the Heat side, slower pace, less efficiency offense on the Sixers side. A lot of the stuff is pointing towards the under here. Post All-Star break at home for the Sixers as well, 7-2 to under. So a lot of things are just pointing in that direction. I'll just stay away from the side for now.
All right, going to look at the under here tonight with Philadelphia and Miami, and we'll look at another total on the board here tonight in an intriguing matchup for our overtime segment. What do you think here? Is the Utah Jazz at home taking on OKC? Another interesting matchup here with a little bit of juice. 236.5, and the market says, oh, hell no. Give me the over in this. We're at 239.5, and I get it. I mean, the first question we got to ask, right? Well, is Clarkson playing? Is Kessler playing? Is Markkanen playing? Is Sexton? Oh, all right. Well, none of them may be playing, Teddy. I don't know what the hell to do with this game. Is it up and over for you still, or might the under have some value?
I'm not playing it over, not at this number. And it's very hard to play these two teams under the total. All right, we know the pace is going to be there. And we know that both teams take the ball into the paint and create that way. This isn't a team of, this isn't jump shooters against jump shooters. If the jump shooters aren't falling, no one's going to score. These are two teams that are aggressive, driving into the paint and creating opportunities for their teammates. They played 3 times already since the All-Star break. Based on this number, 2 of those 3 stay under, including one that went to overtime. So the last time they met, 129-119, and both teams shot very well in that ballgame. Both they combined to shoot better than 50% from the floor. But Utah, without Sexton, okay, and without Markkanen, and without on and on down the line. Kessler's a huge loss, but Kessler is an underplayer for me. Kessler's their low post defender. They need him against OKC. They don't have him here. I'm kind of going all over the map with this. I guess I lean under. It's nothing I'm actually playing. I have a stronger opinion about the side here than do the total. We'll get to that in just a few minutes.
All right, good stuff there. I mean, he's right though, Brian. It's tough to look at unders with these two teams, but the market has already continued to bet this thing up. We're almost at the 240 mark. Is it any value to the under with you, or is it over a pass?
It's probably going to be a pass on that. I'm very similar to Teddy. I like the side better. Oklahoma City played Utah since the 23rd of February. They scored 119, 130, and 129. And they're coming off some games. The last 5 games for the visitor here, they've given up 136, 128, 121, 137. Even Detroit got 106 against them. I don't know if that's good or bad, but they're not playing much defense right now. They've been able to score on Utah. Can't make much about the total here, but I do have something that I like on the side, so we'll hit on that a little bit later.
All right, we got a couple of side plays here. It does kind of feel like Ron, if this thing goes over, we're flying over. It's not going to be a sweat job at all. So the question is, do you have enough confidence that this thing gets up and over, or is it an under for you?
This one is tough. I think just like Teddy and Brian, I like the side a little bit more. But if this goes over, it'll be because of the Thunder. If this stays, if this stays under, it's because of the Jazz. I mean, you guys talked about how these guys to go in the Jazz without Kessler, they don't really have that paint presence in the defensive side of the ball to really stop anyone on the Thunder side. It matter if the Thunder just do enough to win the game and kind of manage the minutes in that way. There's a lot of different ways to tackle this one, but for the most part, this is definitely not going to be on my card from a total perspective. But like I said, if it's an over, it's because of the Thunder. If it's an under, it'll be because of the Jazz.
All right, well, I'll split it in half for you. How does 122 sound for a first half total? Because that's what we're looking at there as well here, guys. All right, not a ton of games here on the card, but let's see if we can find a dog that we might be leaning at here, Robbie.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, and they are ugly. Cleveland with their G League players. Miami, though, +2 here, as the market seems to have loved them. Portland, I have no idea who's playing. Utah, +7 we just talked about. And how about the Nuggets there? The contrarian gods seem to like them getting those 10.5 points. Not a ton to choose from, but some of these numbers are getting inflated there, Teddy. So is there a dog here that might be barking for you tonight?
I believe this is the highest point spread of the year for the San Antonio Spurs. My records show I haven't seen them laying more than 2 in any game. And tonight, for some reason, the markets think they should be laying 4 to Portland, because Portland is bad. I get it. Portland's not any worse than San Antonio. You know, it's not like the Spurs are, we got to win one for the coach before the end of the year. All they want is ping pong balls. And if you watch Pop's strategy, they found a way to lose a lot of the games against their fellow bottom feeders, the Pistons and the Rockets and whoever else. San Antonio's a false favorite. I know it's ugly. And this isn't my favorite dog on the board. We'll talk about a dog I like better than this one in best bets. But amongst the choices, for me, it's pretty clear. Portland or pass. I'm not laying 4 with San Antonio.
That's a great statement right there. This is the most they've been favored all season long. Oh, my word. What does that tell you there? All right, Brian, what do you think here? We got 5 to choose from. Anyone in particular you might be leaning towards?
Well, first of all, that dog in the Cleveland game has been running a lot higher than it's shown there. It's up to 10 now in some places. So that's been, as I've been told in the past, they're betting that as if they already know the final score. And I'll get into that a little bit for my best bet. But I'll take a look at the Utah Jazz here, catching the 7 at home. This is a team in Utah that's been on a losing streak, no doubt about it. But they're continuing to fight, and I like the way they play. And Oklahoma City, the home team won all 3 of the meetings they played earlier in the last couple of months. So Oklahoma City lost when they went into Utah then. Now you're laying 7 points with them. I'm not going to do that. I'll take the Utah Jazz here, catching 7. That's a tough place to play. I don't care how good your teams are, but Utah's a tough place to play, and I'll take them plus the 7 at home.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. In fact, what are you thinking here, you capper? Which one of these ugly-ass dogs you looking at here?
Just a quick update. The Magic they sat a few people. They sat Banchero, Wagner, Wendell Carter. So I don't know where that line's going to end up. But Denver announced Jokic is out, so that moved plus 12. And that's the way that I'm going to go. Like I said earlier, I do like what the contrarian gods are looking at here. Denver plus the points is the way that I would go. I feel like this is a situation where Suns take care of business early, then let off the gas pedal late. Denver's guys here will get the backdoor cover at that big number of 12 points now. So, yeah, I would look towards Denver in this one.
Yeah, it's Denver. It is getting to 10.5, but again, who knows where these numbers might land? But as currently constructed, Let's check out some best bets from these guys today. All right, we'll throw 60 seconds on the clock. Let's see if these guys have a best bet on the board they like a little more than the rest. Teddy, kick us off, man. Where are you looking at tonight?
Oh, yeah. You heard Brian Leonard talking about it a moment ago with Utah +7 at home against OKC. OKC is 1-4 in their last 5 games. They've lost to Charlotte and Indiana during that span. Here's the quote from head coach Mark Daigneault after they lost by 11 at Golden State on Tuesday. Quote, "It's awesome. You look out on the court, you've got rookie players, you've got second and third year guys. Everybody at this point is playing the most minutes they've ever played in an NBA season for the most part." OKC's accomplished their goals, all right? They're competitive. They gave a playoff chase, but this is not a team that we can trust to win by margin on the highway against a Utah team. All they've done all year is show character. And I know they're sitting everybody tonight. They're still a character team. We saw it against the Lakeshore in the week. I expect to see it tonight. Utah plus for this better.
All right. Like it. Utah getting it done here tonight. How about you, Brian? Let's hear it, man. Break that game down for us here tonight.
First off, my baseball's gone. I've got nothing in the NHL that I gave to clients today. And hockey, 3 plays, including a 4% play, up on the site right now. Everything's 50% off today on Throwback Thursday. I'm going to take a quick look at that Cavaliers game I talked about earlier. That as soon as I said it went up to 10, Ronald gave us the details on Orlando, and now I'm actually seeing a 5 out there. So that thing has gone from -4.5 to 10 plus 10 to plus 5.5. I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm going to play the Cleveland team total under. You take a look at the players that Cleveland's going to be without tonight: Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, LeVert, Allen, Okoro's still not back. They got to depend on their offense to come from Cedi Osman, a guy who has gotten hot in the past, but I can't see him being the number 1 scorer here. These guys, yeah, they play together in practice. They're the second group in practice. Don't want any part of them offensively. Let's play the team total under in this one.
All right. Can't argue. Team total under in that one. How about it, Ronald Kabang over at sportsmemo.com? Where are you looking for a best bet here tonight?
I'm going to one of the games we didn't talk about, probably the ugliest game on the board here. We got the Blazers and the Spurs. I'm going to a player prop on this one. Malachi Branham over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I expect him to play 30 plus minutes with everybody out for the Spurs, or for the most part, majority of the guys out for the Spurs. When he does that, when he plays 30 plus minutes, he's gone over this PRA in 8 of the 9 games. He missed the one that he missed was by 2 points. He shot 6 for 16 that game. He could have been well above that if he just made a couple layups that were pretty easy there. But for the most part, we see a 21.5 PRA. In 5 of those 9 games, he scored 22 points alone. So if you can get 22 points and you have a PRA of 21.5, you just get it done with one stat itself. I'm going to like that play a lot here. So that's one of my premium plays that I gave out to clients last night. Also, check us out over at sportsmemo.com. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the NBA Triple-Double Show.
All right. Love it. Great stuff here, guys. Opportunity presenting itself not just this week, this weekend, guys. Don't forget, playoffs begin next week. So a big push is coming. But for tonight, let's check it out here. Teddy looking at Portland grabbing 4 here tonight against San Antonio. Who is San Antonio be laying anything? Best bet, though, Utah. Grabbing those 7. Teddy's got no problem taking them. Brian Leonard, yep, Utah +7 is his dog. His best bet, though, is going to be that Cleveland team total under 104.5 with absolutely nobody playing. And Ronald Kabang likes Denver getting a dozen now, taking on the Phoenix Suns here tonight. And also his best bet is going to be Branham over the 21.5 PRA. Good opportunity to hop on that prop bet as well. The Contrarian Gods, yep, they'll back Denver here tonight. 12 is just a bit too much here. for them. But best bets are available, guys, right now for Brian Leonard. NHL games going on here. Teddy, of course, as we get ready for Friday into the weekend, plenty of opportunities in Major League Baseball. And of course, that final push this weekend in the NBA. You can visit Mr. Kabang over at sportsmemo.com. Hop on board with one of those 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day all-access packages, guys, and you never got to worry about missing any of the best bets from these three gentlemen. So head on over and grab them here, WagerTalk and sportsmemo.com, and make plans to hit us up again tomorrow. One final day this week in the regular season of the NBA. We'll check out that lineup. We'll see if we can find some edges, and then we're getting ready for the playoffs next week. So come back and join us tomorrow. And on behalf of Teddy, Bryan, and Ronald Kabang, we appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck with all the plays tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
The NBA playoffs start the second week of April, with the NHL playoffs scheduled to begin immediately after. Whether you're looking to raise the Stanley Cup or lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy, we've got the deal for you. Postseason subscriptions are already a great deal at $219, but with this early bird special, we're slashing it even more to just $177 each. And you get the rest of the regular season for free. Between now and Sunday, April 9th, partner with your favorite NBA or NHL handicapper and get their NHL or NBA best bets all the way through the finals. No coupon is needed. Head to the homepage of your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo expert and finish the NBA and NHL postseason with a bang.